Hello and welcome everyone, it is me, the lover, also known as the Power to Do This, back for you with another deck profile, and this is kind of a special one, as this is dedicated to 5000 Dragons, a long-time subscriber of the channel, the first subscriber actually, who took the time to congratulate me for the channel birthday 2 weeks ago, which even I didn't have that date down on my calendar. So we are taking a look at one of his favorite decks in Dragunity today. Been playing that a bit, been building that, testing that, and it is working quite well so far. Got into a plat with this recently. So yeah, let's take a quick look at what we are working with. We're playing the Cyframe package, we're playing Gamma. I'll have a short replay on that, why I'm playing Gamma as like a hand trap of choice here, because Gamma actually works very well with the deck. Playing a Dragunity Phalanx. For the uninitiated, Dragunity is a combination of Dragon-type tuners and Winged Beast-type non-tuners that focus on equipping those dragons to the, Winged Beasts, and then going into a bunch of synchro plays. Phalanx, for example, can, if it's equipped to a monster, special summon itself from the spell and trap zone, which that effect do share a lot of the tuners here. We have coups, similar to, Phalanx. You can summon this if it's equipped to a monster. Can only be used for the synchro summon of a Dragunity synchro though, but you can also treat it as a level 4 tuner when it is used for a synchro summon, which is rather big, because that enables you to go into your big synchros before you get into Nibiru range, which is very nice. Remus is here not only for, as an extender, as you can special summon this guy from your grave if you control a Dragunity monster, but also to get you into your Dragon Ravine, as you can pitch Remus from your hand to add Dragon Ravine from your deck directly to your hand, which is very lovely. Gizam is here as a follow-up normal summon and as just, additional low attack tuners, as Gizam, if normal summoned, is able to revive a level 4 or lower winged dragon or winged beast or wind dragon from your graveyard, but it has its effects negated. Also has the, is able to be special summoned while equipped effect. Dux, despite its age, is still probably one of the best normal summons the deck offers, as on normal summon Dux is able to equip a level 3 or lower Dragunity monster to itself, which of course, if you were able to dump a Koos previously, already is full combo, as you're going to Synchro Climb kind of into your big bosses. Legatus is here, as some very neat spell and trap removal, honestly, because if you control a Dragon Ravine or a Dragunity monster, you're able to special Legatus from your hand. And if a Dragunity monster is in your spell and trap zone, you can target a spell or trap on the field and pop it. Very nice. 2 Noctovision Dragon here for some additional draws and some extension. And a Dragunity Armor Graham as kind of a main deck boss, as you're able to summon this from hand or graveyard by banishing 2 Dragon and or Wind Beast type monsters. Also is able to target a face-up monster on the field and negate that monster's effects, which is very nice, especially against, non-monster interactions. In terms of spells, playing a Feather Duster, which is rather nice in the best of 1 format, a Monster Reborn, and a Terraforming. Of course, we want to get to Dragon Ravine as fast as possible. Something I did enjoy a lot playing in this deck is Cards of Consonance. Oh, this is a throwback. Cards of Consonance, very old card. Discards a Dragon-type tuner with 1000 or less attack to draw 2. Just very nice to get you deeper into your deck. Also easily sets up something like a Koos into the graveyard. Actually, most of your Dragon-type tuners. You want all these to be in the grave mostly. So this is rather nice, and especially in the combination with the deck thinning. 2 Lightning Storms here to kind of have more blowouts. 2 Divine Lands. This is very nice because it also enables you to combo, because you can equip the equipped monster with a Dragon-type Dragunity tuner from your deck, which is very nice. On top of that, also makes the equipped monster unaffected by trap cards, which I guess has neat applications against trap-heavy decks and Imperm specifically. But overall, this is just another way to get into your combo. Dragon Ravine, it just does it all. Once per turn, you discard a card, activate one of the following effects. You either add a level 4 or lower Dragunity monster from deck to hand, which will be your Dux, to get your play started if you already have a tuner in graveyard. Or if you already have access to Dux, you will use the second effect to send a Dragon-type monster from deck to graveyard, pitching any of your tuners to normal summon that Dux and go into your Synchro Climbing. 2 Caught by the Grave against hand trap, 3 Infinite Impermanence as an additional hand trap, and 1 copy of Dragunity Oubliette This is a counter trap that can negate an opponent's spell or trap while you control a Dragunity Synchro monster and banishes it, which is very nice. In terms of extra deck, playing 3 Dragunity Knight Vajrana. This on Synchro Summon equips a low-level dragon from graveyard to itself, which is like the stepping stone for most of your plays. This will be the first Synchro you make. Equip something, summon that something from the spell and trap zone, and go into one of your big 10s. I'm playing 1 Luin and a Gormfar Bar. Sorry, these names are sometimes a bit hard to pronounce. Haven't like really gone into these. This is just a neat tuner Synchro that maybe is able to like boost one of your big Synchros by a bunch, and Gormfar is maybe able to banish some cards out of the opponent's graveyards, but I feel like you could possibly cut these. Playing a Clear Wing, a Crystal Wing, Synchro Dragon, and a Psyframe Lord Omega as just generically powerful Synchros. Omega, of course, in combination with the Gamma package. Getting into the big 10s, we have 1 Ascalon, takes a Dragunity tuner and a non-tuner monster, and you can banish a Dragunity monster from the grave to target a monster the opponent controls and banish it. And if this guy is popped, is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can special summon a 3000 or less attack Dragunity Synchro monster from your extra deck, but it's treated as a Synchro summon, which is a rather nice floating effect. This is what you probably will be making on like a turn 2 onwards basis. For the turn 1 plays, you have Dragunity Knight Aredbhair. This is a crazy card, because when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can banish a Dragunity from the grave, negate the activation if you do banish the card. Very nice. And also banishes monsters it destroys by battle. And if this is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, to add on top of that, this also Harpy's Feather Dusters your opponent. Crazy cool card. You can make this easily without getting into Nibiru range, which is very nice, and kind of future-proof, kind of Nibiru-proofs your turn 1 setups rather easily. Rounding out the extra deck here, a Striker Dragon to turn on Noctovision if you draw it. A Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres, which is incredibly cracked, of course, in any dragon-based strategy, and 2 copies of Dragunity Knight Romulus. This takes 2 dragons and or winged beast type monsters, and if Link Summit adds a Dragunity Spell Trap or Dragon Ravine from deck to hand, and also is able to extend if a dragon type monster is special summoned from the extra deck to a zone he points to. Overall, the combos are fairly straightforward, but in general leave a lot of room if you happen to draw more optimally, which I think the following replays will maybe show, and maybe we can talk a bit about how the deck performs in actual gameplay. And the first replay we will be taking a look at here is against Zodiac, to kind of showcase why I believe that the Psyframe package is very nice in this deck. As Dragon Ravine and a lot of your other consistency cards are important to fire first before you commit a monster to the board. Gamma is just kind of crazy at stopping like an Ash if I had already like gone ahead and fired that Dragon Ravine effect, or the Maxi here in this case, being able to grab that driver from the deck, negate the Maxi, continue playing without having to worry about that. Of course, yeah, I drew 2 called by because I'm nice. But the Psyframe Lord Omega here will actually put in some work, banishing itself instantly to get another card out of our opponent's hand, which could potentially be a hand trap, of course, but we will hit a Zodiac Thoroughblade here. As you saw, I just pitched the Gizam in my hand here for the Ducks, equipping the Gizam, summoning the Gizam back, and this is the exact scenario for which we are playing the Clear Wing Synchro Dragon in the extra deck, as we are not only able to make this under Dragon Lock, but also, you know, in these corner cases where we are able to go into a level 7 Synchro that maybe needs to do a bit more. Our opponent kind of mentally broken by that Psyframe Gear Gamma at the start. When the turn swaps back to us here, we will get our Omega back, decide to not push for damage here, I think. First of all, I do pitch the Legatus for a Dux here. Go ahead, summon that Dux. Dux effect will grab me back the Gizam. I will summon said Gizam and make a copy of Aredbhair here with the Gizam and the Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, so that I still retain a negate on the board. And with all that off the way, I think that is a very swift replay number 1. And I think we will look at a maybe longer game for the next one. And with that, the next game that we are taking a look at is a quite lengthier game against a Branded. Or rather against Despia. Branded is a bit larger term than what Despia is currently in Master Duel. As you can see, we fought pretty well. Getting to Dragon Ravine always bodes well for, you know, what you could do. You also see the Gamma here in hand, which is, of course, very highly appreciated. And this is probably the more standard Dragunity line that you will see here. You go for your ducks, you summon back the Koos, as Koos is probably the best tuner to have in rotation for this one. You make Vajrana, equip back the Koos, summon that Koos again. And since you can treat it as a level 4 tuner, you are able to go into Aredbhair here. While still outside of Nibiru range, essentially, because this is your 5th summon. I decide to not equip the Divine Lance here, which is a bit weird. Usually I could recommend equipping that if you kinda know what you're up against, but retaining that for a follow-up turn is also perfectly understandable, as it and a normal summon also enable you to combo off quite well. I do decide to hit the Aluba here, which I feel like is a pretty good hit, and immediately get punished by it because Albaz hits the board. Which of course cleanly outs the Aredbhair without triggering much of its effects, and makes a big bad Titaniclad. He will punch me for a whole lot of damage, 3900, taking that to the face here is nothing to laugh at. Don't really know why he commits for the comedy here. Polys that and the Dramaturge in hand into a Masquerade, probably hoping to burn me out of everything here without like a lot to do. When the Dramaturge triggers here on being sent for the fusion summon, I do decide to Gamma here, as that Dramaturge on the field does not bode well. I will lose out on my Gamma package here, to be fair, which is a bit unfortunate, but with 3500 life points left, I will go ahead and hopefully be able to out this Masquerade without burning myself to death. Adding a Dux here and going through the usual motions again. Dux will equip Koos from the graveyard, will be able to trigger the Koos here, summon itself back, make Vajrana once more, which is why we are maxing out on Vajrana to have as many copies of that for follow-up turns. Of course, you know, slowly getting burnt to death by that Masquerade. And when the Koos triggers, we are getting awfully close to dying. But we are able to commit for the big bad Ascalon here to kind of start clearing our opponent's board. As we are able to enter combat, Ascalon over the Masquerade. And in main phase 2, I think I will go ahead and Ascalon effect, banishing a copy of Dux here to get that Albus off the board. Fire the Lance here to get a Remus out of the deck, and also possibly like prevent my opponent from coming back with a big trap card. He will revive the Masquerade though via that Masquerade's effect. Will probably not find anything big here, but a set card is always a bit menacing. Understandably, I think we will just straight proceed to combat because we cannot activate any cards or effects right now, as we are hard pressed for those life points while Masquerade is up. Going ahead, Dragunity, Divine Lance again here for, you know, a Phalanx out of the deck, just to deck thin here and get those names out of the deck. Committing for a Romulus here to grab myself the Counter Trap in Oubliette, which adds just another very nice layer of interaction to this board. But since I have summoned that Phalanx, I am able to get that off into a Hieratic Steel of Heavenly Spheres, and with that out of the way, we are sitting on a good amount of disruption here, and our opponent will find it tough to push through that with what I assume will be a normal summon and a back row. Normal summons the Edgem chains here, but I am able to easily just, you know, chain those Heavenly Spheres, summoning a Noctovision here from the deck, which is another nice purpose, because you can just grab a Noctovision if you have another normal summon or a Crackback, link that off, and get the Noctovision draw in as well. Just an all-around very neat card. Pitch the Cards of Consonance here, summon, grab the Legatus, trigger Legatus in hand to special itself, and go ahead and pop that back row, which will be an infinite impermanence, which is rather unfortunate. I'll negate this out of, like, spite, I don't know, just dominance. Overall, yeah, I guess rubbing it in at that point, because that imperm would not have hurt Ascalon in the slightest. And with that, our opponent will concede, and we move into, I think, another very quick game, which kind of shows the high points of where this deck can end on. And closing off this will probably be a show of force. I think this is, yeah, probably one of the more optimal openers you can have in the deck. as we will proceed to fire Cards of Consonance. A very cool card. I really enjoyed this just for the nostalgia of it. Draw into Monster Reborn Noctovision here, which might not seem too terribly powerful, but we are able to summon back the Rammus here. Go into a copy of Striker Dragon, which of course is able to trigger the Noctovision as we have special summoned a Dark Dragon monster. Get that on the field here as well. And commit those two into a copy of Romulus, which is very neat. And also, you know, being able to, you know, Romulus CL1 and Noctovision CL2 here to kind of chain block that Romulus, guaranteeing us the access to the Ravine. Proceeding here to, you know, draw ducks of the Noctovision, because I'm just nice like that. Discarding Driver, skill issue by the way. Normal summoning ducks here after dumping a Kuz, as previously mentioned. You have this kind of very nice modularity of with your combos. Your combo is straightforward, you just Synchro Climb into a Big 10, but you have a very nice modularity in Dragon Ravine, which is just kind of sick, honestly, as you are able to, you know, either set up a tuner into the grave or grab you a level 4 normal summon if you already have that tuner in the grave. We're going through the, like, I guess, usual motions here. Into Aredbhair, we aren't Nibiru proofed, but luckily our opponent doesn't have it because, you know, best of 1 format and some such. Summoning back the Remus here at the end to commit for a Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. I do go for the Divine Lance here just to make extra sure, and we are sitting on 3 interruptions, Maya and Heidi, with a 4300 body that is unaffected by trap cards. Our opponent is on Synchrons, or yeah, Synchrons, you know. I feel like Junk Synchron's a pretty good one to hit here, as the normal summon's kinda detrimental if it gets hit for the deck. And Junk Synchron's probably the best normal the deck also has. He will Foolish Burial dump here for a Destrudo, triggering the Destrudo to get that back. What I do decide here is to fire the Heavenly Spheres to put that Destrudo back into his grip, but due to Destrudo's effect, that will be put on top. And for the last card in his hand, which is a Monster Reborn, we do have the Oubliette still, which is very nice, as that basically means he is completely out of resources and will concede this duel. Overall, to kind of round this out, what are my thoughts on Dragunity? Overall, I think this is a fairly straightforward deck. You are Synchro Climbing into one of your Big 10s, and the Big 10s in either Ascalon or Aredbhair are incredibly powerful. These cards are sick. They do so much either at preventing your opponent from activating monster effects or at, you know, being good removal on a decently sized body. Your combos are also fairly resilient, I'd say, and not many choke points besides Vajrana maybe. But with enough starters and extenders, you can do a lot, honestly. And with Dragon Ravine and, you know, ways like Remus to get to that Dragon Ravine as well, and even amazing cards like Cards of Consonance that gives you a lot of setup, you are able to fairly consistently make it into that. Overall, this is a very pure approach to the deck. I assume that if you, like, get into some more Dragon Link based shenanigans, you can probably get, like, a lot higher, a lot higher ceiling out of this one. But overall, this felt good. Again, I would like to extend a very humble thank you to 5000 Dragons for being here for the entire way of 2 years. Still a bit baffled by that comment, and I hope I did one of your favorite decks justice. And in general, let me know down below, guys, what did you think of this deck? And yeah, with all that out of the way, I will thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys again next time. But until then, goodbye.